Pack it up. Lalita Sahasranamam you people were reciting yesterday. Pranan had that also, as you did. Pranayama you do. You keep this like this. You keep the finger like this. Then you keep it like this. You take in through one nostril and leave. When you take in through one nostril, what do you say? Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Maha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyam, Om Tatsavidur Varenyam, Bhargo Devas Sadimahi, Diyo Yonaha, Prachodayat. You say no? So when you do that as pranayama, now you are retaining the breath. Om Bhuhu inside. Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Maha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyam, Om Tatsavitur Varenyam, Bhargodev. When you draw in, 7 lokas inside gets activated. Bhulokam is inside also. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Pitrulokam. Suvaha, Swargalokam. Tapaha, Maha, Janaha, all these things, Satya, all these things are somewhere. That is also here. Finally, Satyalokam is here. This Satyalokam has got the Sahasraram. You just give it with somebody and do it. Or bring one more. You don't have spare things. Only one is there. You fellows, what are you going to do with it? Give it. Otherwise, purchase and bring. I will give you the money. Okay. No problem. It's more convenience, is it not? We can't keep thinking of it. Okay. So, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, all these things have got saints. Different lokas, different saints are there. They are also inside you. Okay. Om Satyam ho gaya. Then Tatsavidur Varenyam Bhargo Devas Sadimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. That is through this nose. This nose is what? 7 lokas up means 7 lokas down must be here now when it goes. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Talatala, Patala. 7 lokas are there. So it must be, when you say taking in, when you take in, you are taking in all the positive things. The negative things must come out, kada. The different types of thinking which were negative on account of which you were fighting with everybody, no. You have that ego, no. You are fighting with everybody, no. That needs a redemption. That needs a saturation. That needs an outlet. Possible? Okay. Tatsavitur, be purified. Tatsavitur varenyam bhargo devas sadimahi diyo yonaha prachodayat. That's all. For all these fellows, thoda prochadam karo. This fellow Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Tala, Tala, Rasatala, Pata, these fellows are there, no? All those fellows, thoda. He is inside, no? By this purification of Om, Bhu, Bhua, Bhua, Swaha, all these things, let Gayatri come in the middle. That with Surya, Suryasya Mamanyasya Manyubhadayasya Manyukritebhya Pabhebhyo Rakshantam Om Surya Narayana Namaha Swaha. So that is purification process automatically. It purifies all your thoughts. Really, if you do pranayama, thinking like this and meditating wholly on that subject, this happens. If you do pranayama like me, this will not happen. The devil will always remain with you. So everything. Okay. Suppose, as a prayogi, what we do, I tell you. Suppose I catch your hand, I feel you. I feel you. Sometimes what I will do is, I will take the hand and kiss it. Sometimes I will do for elders also. Okay. One fellow came newly married. His wife goes, I was there. It's very hard. Still, నేను చేయలేదు గురుగారు ఉచ్చు ఉంటారు. Whatever you want to think, you think. I'm not bothered. Next time you should not come. I said, don't go. Achai, reduction. If it reduces, now, prarabdha velindi. So, when you do this, what I'm doing, I place my lip on that, on this side. Okay. This is primordial energy points. We use the fingers and you use the mouth. When you touch it, our mouth is very sensitive. We have trained it right from the younger days as a prayogi. The master teaches how to become more sensitive when you do a kiss. The real kiss only a master can do. No fellow else can do. Yes. Because he is trained for that. So he absorbs. Okay. There will be devatas here. 64 devatas are there in your body, various points. 64 devatas are there. 64 devatas, various points of your body, even your private parts. Don't think, here devata will not be there. Then who else will be there? You should understand the subject the way it has to be understood. If you తప్పదంగా ఏమో ప్రిజ్యూమ్ చేసుకుంటా మనం ఏం చేయాలి అది మీ ప్రారంభం నేనేం చెప్పాలి వాట్ ఐ కెన్. So when you touch, that part becomes, so sometimes this devata will be docile because you have been already cursing people. You are using the hand. Oh, my wife doesn't listen to me. Long back, I went to US. Those were, somewhere I had gone to somebody's house. Previously, US I will go, but I won't go to anybody. I have some vantage points. I will go there, do some prayogam and come. I used to visit Sentosa those days, Arizona. It's a beautiful place. It's a very sacred place. Mayans and Dravids, Druids have lived in those places. I used to be looking for all that, energy points. So, this, that time I went there and then I told her, I was just in somebody's house that day I visited. Before me, something happened and I was stunned. I have never seen anything like that in India. Okay? Manavade valle, inka evaru ledu, kottaga evaru ledu. They are all our people. Okay? She is coming from this room, he is coming from this room, I am sitting in the sofa. He went like this, a little bit, the boy's, the man's hand, thoda touch kiya, wife, thoda. He is saying, sorry dear, she says, it's okay honey. I asked him, kya ho? In our place, wife will commit mistake. Sorry means, he said, we will commit mistake. Sorry is not enough. We will commit mistake and then we will give a big blow to her and she has to say sorry. That is the culture we belong to. So far we have treated females like that. At least something, this is different. Guruji, don't bring your philosophy here. Ikkada vallu divorce file chesina 50% agrodhu. All the thing. Fridge vallu veltundi. Erkanave we have signed a prenuptial agreement. Before marriage itself agreement. Suppose we both are not able to continue together as husband and wife, then which are the things you will take, which are the things I will take? What sort of a nonsense it is? Before marriage itself, you are presuming that it will be a failure. And the marriage, is it possible? Guruji, you must be more practical. Guru Garu, Namaskara, I am not practical. In India, we are all Bharata Desham, we are very impractical. Unfortunately, I had such masters and I had. So, sometimes we do all nonsense. We don't do exact things what this should be done. We have abused this hand. We have not used it. We are not a prayogi to use it. We have abused it in normal life. As a result of which, it is all. And that is connected to your karma. That is connected to your past. That is connected to so many things. Acharyan wants to correct it, so that you will be in a particular track which you wanted to be initially when you form. You have lost your original address and you have gone somewhere else. I am trying to bring back to you your original address. This is what happens. So at every point, Devatas are there. 64 different Devatas are there. They need, and all these 64 points are now occupied by Asuras from, because Devatas will leave. घर को छोड़ के चला गया. Somebody else is sitting. If you leave your house without locking it, somebody else will come in, is it not? It's a very normal thing. People purchase land, they don't build a house. Somebody else will put a tent, and there. To vacate that fellow, you have to give almost the cost of the land to him to vacate it. In fact, a house would have cost much less had you built. It's a normal thing. When you are open, you are open to everything. You are open to negativities, you are open to so many things happen in your life. Ultimately, that is the concept of prayoga. What we do, how we do is our headache. But the ultimate reason is only this. We ultimately want you people to be peaceful and happy, nothing else. No other agenda I have got in my life. So that's how it happens. See, you have the right to ask questions. Everything stops with me. I can't go and ask anybody else. Bug stops with me. Understand? I can't go and ask someone else. I can't say. Sometimes I will say when people ask, come back to me after a week. Because the prashnam will not be all right. Sometimes I will say, I will think it over and tell you. Please remind me. I say, I will think it over and tell you. Then I say, please remind me. These two are not tallying, no? If I am really thinking it over, why should you remind me? Understood? But you cannot understand. So, I am very plain and frank. I have never told a lie in my life, till date. Yes. People have presumed. That is your problem. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. Where is my problem? My problem doesn't exist. I don't have any guilt. Lord's grace. So you must upgrade yourself and become a better person. That's what is expected. This Manushya Jeevanam they have given for service. Service is the very concept of life. Either you do service to somebody or you take service from somebody. If these two things are over, life on earth is over. That's all. All your activities can be divided into two things. Either you do service or you accept service. We can't at all just keep on doing service. We should also accept service. You will do only service. Guru Garu, I will do only service, I won't accept service. What sort of nonsense it is? Okay. Actually, you are accepting. You don't know. How? Very simple. You will go to the shop, you will purchase some rice. You are eating. Satisfaction. Aha, Sona Masuri. Oh, okay. If you take some other thing, it's not all right. Sona Masuri, best brand. He has said, kilo, 40 rupees. Okay, manchidi. But the satisfaction you got, only 40 rupees. Can your satisfaction be quantified? Okay, we have in this hall some chartered accountants. Now you do evaluation. Satisfaction should be evaluated and you must tell in concrete terms that it can be, this is what. So your satisfaction, today you have eaten food, aha you said, for that satisfaction, 1,000 rupees. Bol sakte hai? Already you are a debtor. Once you are satisfied, it means that somebody has made you satisfied. You are liable to that person in any way. That is called runam. Now Runam, how it develops? Runam ఏమి అదో వాళ్ళు రుణం కాదా, రుణం మనం తీర్చుకోవాలా? అలా ఎక్కడ తీర్చుకుంటారు మీరు? ఎక్కడ రుణం తీసుకుంటారు? ఎప్పుడు తీర్చుంది? అట్లా ఒక సబ్జెక్టే లేదు. రుణం విల్ కీప్ ఆన్ కమింగ్, యూ కీప్ ఆన్ డూయింగ్ సమ్ గుడ్ థింగ్స్, అంతే. అది దేవుడు దయ. మీ సర్వీస్ చేయాలి, రుణం పెట్టారు. ఎవరో సర్వీస్ మీకు చేయాలి, మీ వాళ్ళకి చేయాలి, అందుకే రుణంలో ఒకటి పెట్టారు. A liability is imposed on you so that you will do better service to humanity, service to the world. That is the concept. There was something called Mike. Is it not there with you?
No, if it is on the doership mode and then be in the non-doership mode, whatever we are doing,
If you can do it, I am very happy.
Then everything is
Still
paid
not.
up. No karma, no.
But I am convinced that you won't do it. See, generally it happens. No, sir? No. The thing is, sometimes you can do it, sometimes you cannot do it. At that time, what we do, your philosophy, Hindu part, I can call it philosophy, I can call it way of life, I can call it religion, whatever I call it. The name part of it is not going to make much. Some name is given, some title is given, something. That's okay. But please remember, you will plan, I will teach Kohli, Kali, that's all. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Gattai, oh, in the teach Kohli, that's all. Are you really conscious to see that you think always non-doership? When you want to really become non-doer, what they will do? Suddenly somebody will come from central government. Rameshwari, we are giving you a Padma Shri award. Lord will test you. Please remember, when you want to drop something, that is the time he will bless you with many things, which is connected with what you want to drop. He won't allow you to drop. That Lord is like an octopus. So at the same time, he can catch so many things. Octopus is the easiest example. At the same time, all arms will be moving. It has got a very coordinated effort. It knows which arm goes to what extent. Okay. So, finally, surrender total to Bhagavan. Namaskaram, Janardana Priyadam, Pervale. எங்களுக்கு என்னன்னு தெரியாதுறப்பா, என்னமோ வந்துட்டோம், பார்த்துக்கோ. You can't do anything else. As humans, we are helpless. In fact, animals are more free. They don't have all this problem. If fight means they have to fight sake, they will fight without any intention. That's all. Nothing else. They are more natural. We are not natural. As human, we have become a little bit artificial. Yeah, next.
Guruji, the Prayoga Narasimha in
That
Richmond.
is why that's where I was saying, all these astras, one person, one thing, certain things are there inherently inside you, and one astra is used to make you a person. See, for example, Hiranyakashipu said, I am not prepared to accept. He said to Brahma, okay, you cannot give me immortality. Let me defeat immortality in my own way. I will be immortal. You give me this sinner. Lord should not use any weapon. Kada? First, why weapon? He knows very well. All these weapons he uses. Leave alone, he is leaving the world. He is now like a king. Finally, he will become meow. Okay. Cat, small cat, not big cat. He has to become submissive. All Rakshasas know, they don't want to be submissive. That character of submissiveness is not there. Suppose one of your colleague is there, or you are there, you are not submissive. One lady had written to me, I am not submissive. Yeah, I can understand. Probably those days Tataka was there, so many people was there. These days Virajita is there. Okay. Maybe you are blessed with that. You must feel happy. Why do you want to be something else? Be that itself. Be happy. She says, I am not able to be submissive. At the same time, I want to change. If you want to change, what priority you have, what priority in mind you have, that will click. What thought you feed, you will be feeding some thought, no? At home, while sleeping, we are feeding unknowingly some thought. She will always say, I fear, Guruji, I don't know, morning when I get up, I get fear. Because you have fed some thought unconsciously, and that thought is surfacing. That thought, like a reality, it looks. I know one girl, she is very bold, but she is scared of lizards. Even if a lion comes, she won't be scared. But she sees that lion in lizard, and lizard probably like that submissive in lion. She is not bothered. She is very scared of lizard. Yes, that fear, no, probably may be a past fear. We do not know. The fear may be from the past. Unconscious is the past. Past you do not know why you fear. If you are fearless, you are not bothered. It shows you never feared in the past. You won't fear. Aare, kya hota finally? What will finally happen? What will happen? Death. Someday it is going to happen. Let it happen today. What is there? Ultimately, you will be going through it. Ultimately. Now itself, somebody was telling me, sir, once we retire, we have to know, before retiring, we should have exit plan now. Once you are born, prepare your exit plan. Not after retirement. You understood, huh? Exit plan. They will all plan. After retirement, this hoga, that hoga, I will have only this much of money. By the time I should have a home, then I should rent it out. I will get rent. I will be in another home. From this rent will come, this will come, that will come. It's such going on. Imagine. Why imagine? There is nothing. Incidentally, you were not born with your thinking. You thought you must be born to such parents. Huh? So and so must be my parents. You thought. Huh? You know where you are going to die. Huh? No. Huh? You need 2 people to bring you in, 4 people to clear the mess which you created. Huh? And you say, I am independent. How guys say independent? Independent. Ante. Independence. Somebody was asking. No, we got independence from Britishers. Yes, we got independence from Britishers. We were slave to Britishers. Today we are slave to our own people. No? Ade oka satisfaction meeko. Atla, okay, fine. I will be a slave to my own people. I will not be a slave to white person. Independence, has it really give you freedom? I am not telling you anarchy. Freedom is not. Freedom with responsibility. Are you really tasting that freedom with responsibility? I have, for everything, I have to ask what you alone do. I independence. No, చాలా చేస్తారా నమస్కారం ఒక దండం పెట్టాలి కదా అది కట్ట అయిందినే అంతే see అదే just check on yourself whether you are really free. You are already a slave to your own emotions, to your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own people. You are already you are a slave, leading a life of slavery. Religion came to release you from that slavery. If religion cannot release you from that slavery, you don't need religion. You can dump it. You can be an atheist. You can be a rationalist. If I cannot bring you out of the clutches of slavery, what is the use of coming to Narsimhavadi? It's the truth. See, we have to, anything we do, see, we were all taught, it is there in the blood. This is what the problem with gurus. Go on hammering, tongue. Finally, a stage will come. You will become like a guru. You will reflect your guru. You will not have. Guru will be sitting in Hyderabad or in Narsimhavadi. In America, you will be talking like Guru to others. Same words will come automatically. It will get registered. Repeatedly you are listening. Anything repeatedly you registered, it will. छोटा बच्चों का क्या करते हैं 1 into 1 1 1 into 2 2 1 into 3 come on table को repeat करो ओम श्री गट्टाय गोविंदाय गोपीजन वल्लभ repeat it what this repetition leads you to a sort of total belief in what you are repeating and you become one with the mantra. Then the mantra has a phonetic and that phonetic keeps reverberating in your environment. It cleans your environment, your thoughts, your way of looking at things totally change. That is why it's called mantra. Mantraihi mantra. Mantra. So it purifies. What is ultimately the purpose of life, you know? Meet, mingle, mix, merge. 4 M's. Not 3 M, Birla. This is 4 M, Sridhar. Meet, mingle, mix, merge. That's the root. Yeah, next. Yeah, last one question. Yeah.
Guruji,
Where is Guruji?
Guruji,
Yeah.
Guruji, why can't the females perform the final rites for their parents,
They
Guruji?
can perform.
But nobody would come forward if I say I want to do
I
it.
will come forward. I will send somebody to you. You want to? Nobody is doing, I am not responsible. But I say you can do it. I am asking you one question. Yes. To perform a funeral rite, there are certain ways of doing it. That is one. First of all, suppose I am the Purohit priest. Do you know what I am doing is right? Do you know? As a you people come, you don't know, no? When you do not know, then I know. It's like that. Okay. Okay. How do you know the mantras are correct, rightly expressed? You don't know. You trust that fellow. But what Shastras say, you know what it is? Shastras say, before appointing a Purohit for you, a priest for you, you should find out whether he is an all right person or not. If he recites mantra wrongly, first mistake is yours, next only his. Now think over. Dun, 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 dun. You are going to temple, Sankalpam. Stairya, Virya, Vijaya, Virya, Ayurarogya, Aishwarya. Only for you, not for anybody else. Srivatsagotra, Sridhara Sarman, Mula Nakshatra, Dhanur. Then he is doing Archana. If I am Lord, there itself, Lord has already left. How long he can hear this? You tell me. Your Sankalpam also, that's why when I go do Sankalpam, I will say, please pass it on to Lord, not me. Because I am not sure about you. You know, I have purchased a ticket. Offer it to the Lord. Let him take it, whatever you say. I don't know. Think well before taking Sankalpam, before doing Sankalpam. Think well whether the person knows. Don't go like a sheep. Think. Lord has given you mind only to see such things. Mind has to be used there, not faith. In that case, mind. Have you understood? There is a place to use the mind and a place to use the heart. With a guru, it's the heart, not the mind. That is why gurus, any action you cannot understand of. He will fire you left and right. And another says, suddenly he will say, hi, how are you? Are you fire? We will not have come out of it. Immediately he will say. And Acharyan is like that. That's how we were also brought up, and we also had in Gurukulam right from small, younger days, when we were very small. Yes, it's a sort of conditioning, but my gurus were very good in the sense freedom, responsibility.
Guruji,
Yeah.
my question is with regard to Pitrus and Aksharas.
Yeah.
Is every Pitru associated with an Akshara also, like all other entities in the universe?
See, ultimately, Aksharas are always there. So, Pitrulok also, you have everything. But every family, it may differ. It may not have the same one. There are thousands of Aksharas, millions of Aksharas for every family also. Okay. So, generally, if you see, they will all go together. See, if we say no, flock together, what is it? We say? Birds of the same feather flock together. Don't you say that? Is it not? So, something, see, generally itself, every person will have their own thing. Even gurus are like that. You will land up with somebody whom you are generally comfortable with. It's a general, people will say comfort zone, comfort zone. Generally, it's like that. Naturally, you won't like yourself to be put into a hot. See, today also, my abhyasam, that is practice. If I become very comfortable, I will immediately do something to see that I become uncomfortable. Suppose I drive a car on a hot day. I put full AC and go. Once I start enjoying it enjoys, I'll stop the car in a parking zone. I'll just walk on the road. Sometimes I will even keep the slippers in the car and I will walk barefooted. Or a ground market. Well, I can also see the aksharas, this, that. For my prashnam, it will be useful. A ground market. This also will be. Now I feel very uncomfortable. Now I'll go into the car. Now I'll start the car drive. Sometime it's comfortable. Now get down. So don't allow yourself to become more comfortable. Then you are caught in the comfort zone. Then that rat only, I told you the story. Once you go in rat, it was, then it went into a barn. It saw a lot of rice. Udari kake, some 2 years it was there. Now it got bored. It wanted to come out. It couldn't come out because its size was bandicoot. Now it has to reduce to that extent to come out. So material comforts will lead you to a place when you start rejecting it. You will suddenly say, I don't want all this. You are fed up with this. You can't come out. You see that. That stage, don't go and get caught. When you want to really relinquish your material comforts and come out and see the reality of life, at that time you must be able to eject yourself out of those things. So don't make yourself a slave to all that. At some point of time, you must know how to drop it and move on. I see sometimes very old people, grandmother, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, they namaskara చేస్తారు. Say namaskaram andi. At that time, they will come close. చెప్పాలి ఏమని చెప్తాను ఏమన్నా మై గ్రేట్ గ్రాండ్ సన్ 2 సారి రాసినారు ఎన్ఈటి దొరకటం లేదు, కొంచెం వాళ్ళకి ఆశీర్వాదం కావాలి. అయ్యో ఎవరా యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ అట్ దట్ స్టేజ్ మీకు ఆశీర్వాదం కావాలి. యూ ఆర్ నౌ గోయింగ్ టు ఇజెక్ట్. ఇప్పుడు సన్ గ్రాండ్ సన్ వాళ్ళు పెళ్ళి వీళ్ళు పెళ్ళి ఎప్పుడు రా, వెన్ ఈజ్ ఇట్ గోయింగ్ టు ఎండ్? ఇట్స్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు ఎండ్. I can understand when you are young, you have a kid, this, you want the best for the kid, all these things I can understand. After becoming grandfather, that's why they said, once you become a grandfather or a grandmother, vanaprastham, you have to be away. That's why I tell nowadays, once you get married, your kids, keep them away. Don't keep them with you. No, create some galata sankam. No, you have to die, otherwise Otherwise, it's very difficult. You need freedom at some point of time. That is that called vanaprastham. Huh? Joint family is good for some time, as long as property is there. ఇప్పుడు జాయింట్ ఎక్కడ, దట్స్ వై వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ జాయింట్ పెయిన్. ఇప్పుడు జాయింట్ ఫ్యామిలీ లేదు కదా, జాయింట్ పెయిన్. దెన్ రీప్లేసింగ్ ద జాయింట్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, యువర్ ఫ్యామిలీ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ దే విల్ రీప్లేస్. హిప్ పోయిందనే ఎంటైర్ హిప్ ప్లేస్మెంట్. ఆల్రెడీ మై లెఫ్ట్ ఇస్ పూరా, ఐఎమ్ అ మిషన్ మ్యాన్, ఐఎమ్ అన్ ఐరన్ మ్యాన్. Once I do everything, I'll become like this robot. Check, 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 check. Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's all. Or where is? Pura everything has become machine. You are organic. You must be organic. As a human, you are supposed to be organical. Where is that organic touch in you? You are mechanical. I see nowadays kids. Throughout the day, night also, morning. ఒక పెగ్ అట్లా యూ గో అండ్ ఆస్క్ ఆల్సో పుష్ కంపల్షన్. హియర్ జాబ్ లేదు, అక్కడ జాబ్ లేదు. అది ప్లీజ్ రిమెంబర్, యు ఆర్ సర్చింగ్ ఫర్ జాబ్. దెర్ ఈస్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ అవైలబుల్. వై డు యు గో ఫర్ జాబ్? లిటిల్ బిట్ ఆఫ్ మనీ విల్ కమ్ ఇన్ వర్క్. యు మే నాట్ గెట్ దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ అ మనీ like in job, but you have enough work. In job you will not get satisfaction, but in work you will get satisfaction. So have the practice of work. You must keep working. Okay. Then you do a lot of service. You should not, there should be no excuse at all. My hand is aching, my leg is aching, my body is aching. It will ache, because body is only ache kada. Head ache annaru, ache kada. Head okate undi, అందుకే headache. ఇంకా it will be there. As it is organic, as you go, there will be some pain here, there and all, it will be there. We have nowadays, in India at least, you don't need prescription till now. Crocin, metacin, this, so that, everything is sin. You see, crocin, metacin, chloromycin, like that, sin, erythromycin. So if you are taking it, it is sin. Or probably sin cure చేస్తుంది, అది ఉంటుంది. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿನ್ನದ. So ultimately, you cannot escape this life cycle. That is where karma comes. Because what you are supposed to do, you are not doing. You are more interested in totally in your thing. You don't have the concept of being together. Okay. Vanaprastham should come after you have after the grandson. But nowadays youngster, first itself vanaprastham. Both of them are missing. You see how nice it is. They are missing. Because vanaprastham kada. Is it not? So, where you must be a grahastha, you must take care of your parents, you must take care of your in-laws, you must be together. That is the time you must be with them. That time itself vanaprastham. After marriage, better to keep them away. Guru garu cheppanarandi, అందుకే అట్లా. One boy said, Guruji said, no, why you are keeping me with, he wanted to leave. Because mother, see, mother, father, okay. After marriage, what happens? Mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. By law, mother. By law, father. Law means force. By forcibly, you have to accept that person as mother. Forcibly as father. Who will accept forcibly? How they will accept? But wife-in-law ledu, husband-in-law ledu. Somehow that is working. Sometimes fight ayega to ade wife-in-law, husband-in-law, divorce. Is it not? That's what happens now. Normally if it continues, husband-wife. Fight vachina, husband-in-law, wife-in-law. Ante. Force. Husband is forcing himself on wife, wife is forcing on. So please remember, Shastram is there, Sampradayam is there, everything is there, but I talk about life. More I talk about. Ultimately, I want you to all be happy. That's all, nothing else. I don't have any other agenda other than to see happiness with you. That's all. Okay, of course, there are some people who are running with me. Okay. With me, it is tough. You have a life. Take care. Live a big life. Bhagavan is there always. Keep him always in mind for all your actions, so that he reflects in your work. The quality of work will be beautiful. The quality of work will be very beautiful. Don't worry about your bosses. Everywhere boss will be there. Very few leaders are there. Only boss will be there. Most of the time. Don't worry. You do your work. Don't try to satisfy the boss. You satisfy yourself. Satisfying the boss means greed. You can satisfy yourself, but you cannot satisfy others. Please remember. So do the best possible. Okay. Don't be a calm show. Do justice. Have you understood? Have that. Annadata Sukhi Bhava. The employer is Annadata for you. Please remember. Annadata, just because घर में तू मेरा घर आएगा तो मैं थोड़ा పెరుగు అన్నం ఇస్తాను ఆ పెరుగు లేదు మజ్జిగ మజ్జిగ అన్నము పెరుగు అని చెప్తాను మజ్జిగలో మంచిగా తోడ అంతే కొంచెం ఊరుగా పెట్టి తీసుకోండి అన్నదాత సుఖీ వాళ్ళు లేదు ఎంప్లాయర్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో అన్నదాత ఎవ్రీ డే యు ఆర్ ఈటింగ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ హిమ్ బీ లాయల్ టు హిమ్ అండర్స్టూడ్ ఇన్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ యువర్ ఎంప్లాయర్ ఇస్ ది అన్నదాత. You cannot be calm sure. As long as he pays you, you have to be loyal to him, because the money he gives is useful to you, is useful to your family. In fact, he may be paying more than what you deserve. More. And be generous. When you live, share. Excess money is their share. Nothing will happen. Don't keep on thinking, if I don't have, if I don't have, if I don't have. இல்லை 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 பாட்டு பாடினா இல்லாமையே போயிடும்டா அப்படின்னு எங்கள் அம்மா. இல்லை பாட்டு பாடாமல் இருக்க சொல்லுவோம் ஜனங்களை. ஷி யூஸ் டு அட்வைஸ். எங்கள் அம்மா எப்பயுமே நான் ஞாபகம் வச்சுப்பேன். நல்ல விஷயங்கள்லாம் சொல்லிக் கொடுத்தா ஒரு நான் சிரிச்சுட்டே வெண்ணம் அவ சொல்லுவோம், யூ ஆர் த மோஸ்ட் டேஞ்சரஸ் ஃபெலோ ஐ ஹவ் சீன் இன் மை லைஃப். ஷி சே, யூ வில் சிட் வித் மீ ஃபார் half an hour. You will say, ha, to whatever I say. Finally, somehow in the middle, you will ask some question. I will say, ha. That's all. For what purpose you sat with me is over. You are so cunning. You will get your things done with me. You know the way to get things done. I said, from where it would have come? From where it would have come? It would have come only from you. It wouldn't have come from my neighbor. Is it not? It is genetic. It is there. What can I do for it? I can't today change myself for what I am. So keep these things in mind. Live a strong life. I am always there with you. Always there. Don't worry. Come to me for anything. Anything. You can always come to me. Okay. I say. But only one thing, catch me if you can. There are some riders, of course. So, don't worry, be strong, be bold, be courageous, be submissive. Don't have ego. It is good. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Bye. I am